The headlines. A deal on the U.S. debt ceiling comes one step closer, with a make-or-break vote still to come to avoid the country defaulting on trillions of dollars of debt. Ukraine says around 19,000 children have been taken from the country since the start of the war. We have a special report on efforts to bring them back from Russian-occupied territory. Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says that he has handed over notebooks and WhatsApp messages after a request from the UK's official COVID inquiry. And another so-called godfather of artificial intelligence voices concern over the technology he helped bring into the world.
Kyiv is hit with more overnight strikes just hours after the U.S. announced more military aid for Ukraine. And 2 war criminals had their prison sentences extended after a decades-long war tribunal in The Hague.
NATO will send more soldiers to Kosovo after peacekeeping soldiers there were hurt in clashes with protesters. The conflict began when ethnic Albanian mayors took office in several towns where ethnic Serbs are in the majority. This was after Serbs boycotted local elections. Kosovan Serb protesters have been on the streets demanding the removal of the elected mayor, an ethnic Albanian. NATO's secretary has condemned the violence. 5 members of a Palestinian militant group have been killed and several more wounded by an explosion in the Lebanese town of Kosovo that is close to the border of Syria. The Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine General Command blamed Israel, saying it carried out an airstrike overnight. However, Israel's military has denied any involvement. Lebanese security sources say that it was caused by munitions being transported. U.S. media reports that Donald Trump's former Vice President Mike Pence will officially join the race for the White House next week. He's expected to begin his campaign for the Republican nomination with a speech in Iowa. His poll ratings so far are low, putting him far behind Mr. Trump. A NASA panel investigating unidentified flying objects has collected around 800 mysterious reports. However, researchers say only a small fraction are truly unexplained. The agency set up the panel last year to explain its work on UFOs. The panel, which will issue a report later this year, held its first public meeting on Wednesday. Let's go now to Jordan, where the nation is gearing up for Crown Prince Hussein's wedding later on Thursday. Our reporter Nikki Schiller is in the newsroom with more.
Yes, royal fever has definitely swept Jordan ahead of the Crown Prince's wedding. Posters and banners of the happy couple have been appearing across the nation, some people even wearing T-shirts with their portrait on. Now, photos from her bridal party went viral on social media last week, mainly due to her white gown. It was embroidered in gold with an Arabic poetry verse that said, "When I see you, life becomes sweet." Now, this is some of the official YouTube video released showing the groom's mother, Queen Rania, and his sisters singing and dancing with guests at the party. In a speech, the Queen said, "Like any mother, I have long dreamed of his wedding day," telling her subjects that Hussein is your son and you are his family, and this is your wedding. There was even a free concert for people in Amman on Monday and a drone display that spelt out the words "Celebrating Hussein." On Wednesday, the Crown Prince took part in a traditional pre-wedding ceremony alongside his relatives and members of the armed forces.